the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that?
Jim Jefferies joins us now. I think he's there on Zoom. Welcome to Fitzy.
Hello,
Kate
how are
Ritchie.
you all going?
Who was that guy in the background?
Who's that?
Oh, that's my assistant, Jack. Stand up, Jack. Let
Hey,
the world
Jack.
see you.
How are you, brother?
G'day, Jack. Does
How you guys doing?
Does he usually make you sit on the floor?
No, he's got a couch down there. I'm in a high chair.
Oh, you're in the casting room.
You just wanted me to pan down to me lap. I know what the game is.
How long do they usually last, Jim? The people that work for you, is it a couple of months and then they're moved on, or how long?
I've had Jack for 5 years. Six years, which is weird because he's only 14.
Does he,
But cheap, you know.
does he get long service next year, Jim? Do you look after him?
Yeah. No, I'll send him back to the make iPads in China or sneakers, and then he'll be all done.
The new Jim Jefferies sneaker range is released. Thanks, Jack. Mate, can I compliment you? And often we talk about appearance. We've celebrated Lululemon underpants together, but your hair is... Man, you've hit some style. That's what you've done right there. It's almost a bit
It's all
quick.
It's all. Look at this. Can you see the fluff coming out of
Yeah,
it? It's all smoke and mirror. My hair. I'm on the Nanogen. I put the flakes in. I do everything to make my hair look this rubbish.
Jim, can we have an honest conversation? Because I take a medication too to make sure that my locks are luscious.
And it looks like it's working on your back.
Mate,
Yeah, it's all over. Jim, we've actually had a pretty massive week of guests. We had Sam Neill on the show. Do you know Sam Neill? Have you had any dealings with him?
Sam Neill is my mother-in-law's hall pass.
Really?
She loves herself some Sam. I tell you what, though, I once caught a plane from Sydney to Auckland, right? Obviously for work. I wouldn't go there for pleasure. But I was on the plane, and I was going over, and in business class, it was just me and Sam Neill.
Wow.
We're sitting there.
Did you have a chat?
I was in the front row, and he was in like 2 rows behind me. And then when we got off the plane, he got up and he cut in front of me.
Oh.
It goes row by row.
Yeah.
We live in a society. You can't just start bending the rules. So I've got a problem with Sam Neill because of that.
you're going to need to let it go. I think one of the great things, he would love you because Sam Neill has this very reserved, slow-paced speak where he sounds so educated. But you go to Wrongtown with Sam Neill and he cries with laughter. Sam
Does he?
Neill,
Sicko.
yeah, he would love
he's
your
not.
work.
Reece Darby's one of my best
Oh,
mates,
yeah, God.
and Reece Darby's very good friends with Sam Neill. So I want to get in. I want to know all the famous New Zealanders: Sam Neill, Neil Finn, all of them.
Russell Crowe? Russell Crowe?
I know Crowe. I know Russell.
Do you? Well, you
I
know what?
Russell.
When we had Sam Neill on the show, I mean, you're there dropping names. He told us that he had Cillian Murphy stay at his place in New Zealand. Have you had an Oscar winner at your house, or like the most famous house guest?
Or Rebel Wilson.
And what's my most famous house guest? No, I've never had an Oscar winner stay at my house. But when Brad Pitt was my weatherman, right, on my TV show,
Yeah.
there's a
Yes.
name drop for you, right?
Yep.
He had a suit, right, this brown linen suit,
Awesome.
right? And when my show got cancelled, they go to me, they go, oh, you got to give that, Brad's got to get his suit back. So I never text Brad. I never call Brad. I don't know Brad really, right?
Yeah.
So I text Brad like, I've got your suit. I can come by and drop it off because I wanted to go over to his house, right?
Great. Yeah.
And then Brad Pitt texted me back and he said, I'll give it to Goodwill. I didn't give it to Goodwill. I tried it on. I look like Pee Wee Herman. I'm way bigger. I'm taller and everything, right? Didn't fit me. But it did fit my then 80-year-old father, right?
You're
So
kidding
my
me.
dad... Yeah, my dad has a fitted linen suit that Brad Pitt wore that was tailored to Brad Pitt. My mother died 4 years ago. This was the year after my mother died. So my father's back on the dating scene, right? And he doesn't have a computer. So he made my assistant Jack here laminate a photo of Brad Pitt wearing the suit so it could fit in his breast pocket.
No way.
And what my dad does is he goes out on dates and he goes, and when the women start losing interest, then boom, I pull out the photo.
Wow. Where did you get your suit, Brad Pitt?
Yeah, Gary. It'd be all Gary's.
Is
Gary's
it Gary?
the belter.
Gary with the 2 R's or just the one?
Nah, just the one
I'm
R.
big
He's
on
not
spelling.
fancy.
No.
Has he
not fancy.
had any luck though, Jim? Like, is he?
No, because he's trying to have sex with 80-year-old women. It's difficult. The suit doesn't do that much. It's not a magical outfit.
Jim.
It's a lovely suit, though.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'll get you a photo of Brad wearing it and of my dad wearing it.
Brilliant.
I've got both of them side by side.
Please.
Jim, have you played Glastonbury, Reading and Leeds Festival? How do you go when you've got like a festival crowd and everyone's on the cans? Is it better for you?
Well, that was back. I started playing those festivals in about 2004, and I played them through till about 2011. And I'll be honest with you, I was on a lot of drugs each time, so I can't really tell you how it went. I remember doing one Glastonbury where I was on so many mushrooms I couldn't get to the front of the stage, and the stage would have been about 20 metres deep, and I just hugged the back curtain. So not great. Not my finest before. But they weren't paying me much. You know, it was one of those ones where you got a free campsite, free drugs.
Who played that year? Give us one act. Can you remember any?
I got a T-shirt 2006 where I'm on the same T-shirt as the Foo Fighters.
Awesome.
And Oasis and somebody like I've got a T-shirt where I'm on with it. One time I had to do Glastonbury. And they said, you're closing out the Saturday. You're the headline act of the Saturday. I was like, oh, very prestigious. But it turned out the headline act on the main stage was Paul McCartney. So no one showed up to see me. And there was just all these kids on drugs in the mud. I could hear them a mile away going, nah, 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 nah. And I was on stage going, I don't want to effing be here either. But until one of you sees leave the bloody tent, I'm not allowed to leave the tent. All I had was some people laying on blankets coming down from drugs and freaking out.
Oh, Jim Jefferies, very funny, but hugged a curtain for most of the act.
No. If we do get to your show...
Look, I'm a game show host now. You got to give it up for me. Ian Turpie never opened up about his drug use, did he?
No, he didn't. Wow. Jim, if we do get to your show, I was just thinking, I'm sure you've seen the controversy about having a baby in the audience. Can I bring a baby to your show?
No, you can't bring babies to adult entertainment in the same way that I was kicked out of a strip club for taking my baby.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Like no one would ever go, all I was doing was holding my baby whilst I was getting a lap dance, and the girl said, can you please remove that? As a parent, I was so shocked by the whole thing. How selfish was that woman? And she was like, I have to take my baby into a comedy club. I don't have a babysitter because I'm a single. Then you stay home and you watch comedy on TV like the rest of us. When my baby was born, I didn't leave the house for fun. I haven't left the house for fun yet.
He's cracked it. Jim Jefferies has officially cracked it.
He's lost it. Tickets to Jim Jefferies, give them what they want to. They're available now at frontiertouring.com. We love you, Jim. Thanks for your time, legend.
You can bring small dogs.
Thanks, great man.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
I know this is pretty old, but we're only just cottoning on to Brother which comes from a lecturer. It's on a YouTube clip called Are You a Man? Very Powerful Speech. And I think he was just sort of talking about...
What was he referring to?
Well, he was just to a friend who was doing something that he disliked, and this was his reaction.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Seems to be in the vernacular of a lot of young kids at the moment. Brother, my kids are doing a lot of brother.
I'd never heard of it before, and you guys were doing a bit of brother, whatever it is.
Very TikTok.
Like I'm not up on it.
Can you give us a what's that, brother?
What's that, brother?
It's not bad.
That's good. That's
so
really good.
A few remixes have already emerged from it. I mean, this is a techno remix.
I can feel
not
it.
Bad.
Great for manies.
Tops off.
Yeah.
Bum bag on.
Down Queen Street.
What,
That's not
Wallara?
No, Campbelltown.
Oh, okay.
So we've made a few of our own up, but this was done for us.
What do you got?
What's that?
Belinda.
Brother,
Belinda Carlisle.
brother,
Oh, I like it, because this is a classic song.
Brother, ooh.
Yeah, I like it.
Great song.
That is really good.
I like this
When
one.
Belinda Carlisle wrote that song, little did she know
Oh.
that 30 years later, Brother Ooh would
Brother
be put on
was
top
going
of
to come
it.
out. Dan, who works behind the scenes here, he's had a busy morning.
What do you got, Dan?
So I gave him a couple. I said, any chance you can do...
Was he excited when you wandered up the hallway?
I mean, this is what you get into radio for. So I said, salt and pepper, Dan, what can you do with that?
Oh, God, yeah. Okay.
What's that? What's that, brother? What's that, brother? Brother. What's that, brother?
Yeah, well done, Dan.
I do.
That is really good, Dan.
Really good, Dan.
I mean, how on earth can you make salt and pepper better?
I said, you can't top that. He said, Fitz, I can.
Whoa.
Matt Corby,
No way.
this is very good.
Brother. Brother. What's that? Brother. Somebody call up to your brother. He's calling out your name. Brother.
Matt Corby's just quit music. He's hung up the six string for good. You've ruined that.
ovation
Oh.
afterwards.
The Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let me tell you a tale. Do you know what? When you go out for dinner, you're still trying to give your kids the basic lessons, aren't you? Like table manners, and we do a lot of
entree, mains, and then dessert.
And you'll
isn't
get
it?
dessert. You'll get dessert based on how your performance is over entree and main.
Oh,
Like
you reward
Do they-
him with food.
Yeah, I do that, and I do a lot of. Hey guys,
Very
guys,
interesting.
We're doing inside voice right now. Inside voices. Okay, can you show some respect to the other people in here? Have a look at that guy over there, and then I'll go. Have a look at that kid sitting there quietly with his parents.
Comparing your child's
Yeah, and I'll go,
behaviour
"Why don't
to
you behave
other
like that kid?"
children. Oh, interesting.
You little turd.
Do they find it weird that you eat dessert first?
No, I don't do that. But there's a lot of chat about dessert. And we went to an Asian restaurant, and Ted was very excited about the
Just a
possibility.
restaurant.
Well, no, the cuisine was Asian, so we were very excited about the idea of fried ice cream.
So was it Chinese or was it Asian fusion?
Can I say
Asian fusion?
overrated? Fried ice cream, overrated.
Get back in your box, mate.
That's what I reckon.
You've had the wrong one.
You don't need crunch in your ice cream.
Oh, yes, you
don't
do.
need crunch. No, you don't.
Hokey pokey, hello.
I'm married. Do you know what? But the ice cream fits in the fried ice cream. Inside it is caramel.
No way.
So
this is a fancy Asian fusion.
When we went to Mr. Wong at the end of the year, we had that ice cream.
I
didn't we?
left early.
Fusion.
And it was
I'd gone by then. I didn't have dessert.
So good.
Fusion.
Anyway, can we go back to the problem that I found myself in? And I remember Tommy and I used to go to a cafe that we'd sit at, and I used to complain about how loud the music was in the cafe. And I'd go, but then they had a dummy in the corner. They had a mannequin in the corner.
Why?
That actually said, "Don't
That's
ask us to
Tom, mate.
turn the music down." So written on the mannequin was a sign around the neck that said, "Don't ask us to turn the music
Where?
down."
What city was this?
And I'm the guy that walks in and goes, "Okay, well, your beer glass is warm and your music's too loud."
You're
But
the fun
anyway.
guy.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
the fun guy that everyone loves being around.
Yeah.
So anyway, Jess, if you can help me set a scene here, can we get some ambient music for the restaurant? So we're sitting there, and I'm talking about table manners, guys, and how really it's important that you don't put your elbows on the table, and this is how you hold your knife and fork. Move your plate closer to you. So I'm doing a lot of this gear,
Well, that's
trying to get the
good
basics
that you're
right.
involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the fun out of it,
No,
but
it
I
has.
do
Eat
get that there is a place to be doing these things. I
And
think, yes.
We were then
Is it a pretty fancy restaurant?
No, it wasn't that fancy. But we were
Okay.
then talking about, because Mum was away, and I was talking about how, Mum needs a break. She does so much to you. And then, I don't know what happened.
For you.
But the
For you. She does so
I
much,
just wanna-
so much to you.
I know it's not important, but it's really
She does so
important.
much for you guys, right? So you got to understand that she works her bum off, and that's why she's having a bit of a break. And then the music changed, and I don't know who kicked the music into gear, but it sort of broke the conversation and the intimate moment that I was trying to give with the boys. This was the first song that kicked into gear. So, kids, what I'm saying is it's really important that So
It's
this
a cool
is
cafe.
this is Buster Lament, a tribe called Quest.
Oh, Q-tip. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
So kids, the reason Mum...
Where were you?
I can hear an F-bomb, Dad. That guy said there's an F-bomb.
This is not a Michael Whipfley restaurant at all.
Mum was...
Were you out of area?
No, I wasn't. I was in area.
Were you lost?
No, so...
I feel a bit worried about
The
you.
music came down and I said, sorry about that. And I looked around a little bit thinking, do I call the guy over and go, I'm not sure the music's appropriate.
No, it's kicked into somebody's
The
iPod.
kids here and Ted saying, I heard an F-bomb. I heard an F-bomb. And I'm going, well, don't worry about that. Now, Mum deserves this 3 days off because she needs the relaxation. You think about the lunches, you think about the school bags, you think about everything she does. Sorry. This is hit to the game, Lord Finesse. This kicks into gear.
Oh, did you Shazam it?
Yeah, I did. I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
This is so not your restaurant. This sounds like a cool restaurant.
What time of day is this?
This was a 5 o'clock booking. So there's swearing the whole way through the song. So the song ends and I'm thinking, oh, then now they've cleaned it up. Right,
Yeah.
now they're going to clean up and realise that they're bang out of order here.
Yeah. Was
And
Francesca there?
Yeah, she was there
3
too.
or 4.
She was there trying to eat a bao bun or whatever you call those things.
Bao.
Bao bun. Is it bao, is it?
Yeah.
I never know. And then a bit of sanchoy bao,
Yeah.
which I loved. It was a beautiful duck sanchoy bao.
You're so
You know the
cute.
show that
You're
goes
so
for- you know the
cute.
show
And
that
you
goes
think
for
the
7
swearing in a
minutes?
song is the worst thing.
Well, I did because the next song was called Serial Killer, Method Man and Redman.
Slowly I turn, step by step. The back window I crack.
guys-
Silent as a
guys-
murder. Kill.
Guys, you're there. If we could just drop the music down.
No escape from the
Do you guys
beat
want
that awaits.
desserts?
You know when
Because
the
I think
witness the horror
we
taking
might
place.
go home now. So all I heard on the way home in the car was murder, 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 kill, kill, kill.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Let's talk councils, can we? Let's get straight in. This is the Style Council
I was trying to make the connection there.
Yeah.
with Paul Weller. What a great song, Kate.
Oh,
Can
I
we play
know.
this?
So many throwbacks.
So many throwbacks. Now, let's talk about councils because you don't want to take them on. They find out. And this is the thing. Unfortunately, you think you're getting away with it, but it's some neighbour who dobs you in and then you bang, you're gone.
Yep.
So this is Etienne Constable. Now, he was told he was dobbed in. Apparently, you're not allowed to have your boat in your driveway or out in the front yard. The councils don't like it.
Okay. Where was
You got to
this?
try to hide your boat. This is over in the States. Let's just say it's in Australia, though.
Yeah,
Let's say it's a
Okay,
local
but
story.
because I've seen a few boats on lawns
Yeah, I
and
was
in
gonna say,
driveways.
it's in Randwick. Okay. Yep.
Okay, yeah, Etienne Constable is his name, and he had his boat in his driveway. Now, the neighbours would dob him in all the time and said, well, you're not allowed to display your boat. You've got to hide it, so it's out of the way. I think it was just a menace to the landscape.
Yeah, right,
That people
okay.
didn't like it. So
Street
the council said you need to build a 6-foot fence, Etienne, and get it out the way.
Oh my God.
Hide the boat so no one can see it. So he did, Kate. He built a 6-foot fence, and to stick it up the council, I'm going to put this up on the screen right now. He got an artist to paint
it's
a
a mural.
boat on the fence. So the boat is hidden behind the fence, Kate, but
Yeah.
on the fence, he got someone to paint a boat so you can look at it all the time.
But awesome work. Like the brickwork on the side is continuous with the brickwork on the house, the driveway
Yeah, you
colour,
can
the
barely
trees.
tell. You can
so
barely
if you
tell.
drove past, you would think you can see a boat in a driveway.
It's a great, isn't it?
He's
It's
got
a
the-
real
Isn't-
F you to the council.
But isn't the point of having a boat? I've never owned a boat, I'd like to have a friend with a boat, let's be honest. But don't you get a boat so you can show it off in your front yard? Like, it's some people's pride and joy, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I would say so. And
It's a
he
bit of
is
an
in his
eyesore.
own way.
People who park it on the road, though, it's an eyesore for any street, Kate.
Yeah, and also it takes up space because I know that in a street that my friend lived in, there were some issues with boats and caravans and trailers and things being parked in the street
Yep.
because that not only did they not belong to the person that lived in the street, they belonged to like the brother of the guy that lived in the street.
exactly.
And if you leave it there for 3 months of the year because you're not not using it,
Lose your parks.
yeah, well, you're in trouble. You don't pay. You're not paying rates to have that boat out there.
Well said, Kate Ritchie.
Charlie in Mossman, talk about the Mossman Council with us, Charlie.
Hey guys, so my parents were doing a renovation and had a few knockbacks with approvals from the DA. So they just decided to build a dunny out the back anyway because they needed an extra toilet. So it just looks like a shed and nobody's complained so far.
Until now.
Sometimes you just got to quietly get it done,
great.
don't you, Charlie?
Well, see, you got to tell them to come over to the Inner West because if you want to renos, the Lockout Council, they get through it so quickly. It's like they sit there and they're like, "Oh, give us another one. Give us another one. Let's approve that one. Let's approve that one."
I want to know.
4 years later.
I want to know from Charlie why you needed an extra toilet out the back. Was it for Dad or something? He wasn't allowed to use the inside toilet.
Could have been for Mum.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head.
Come on.
Oh, Dad needed a thunderbox.
Come on, Dad, stinky Dad.
Come on, Dad.
Emily in Newcastle, did you take on the council? Did you win?
Not me, but my in-laws. They bought a waterfront kind of like land block up near Foster, and they weren't supposed to put anything on the land. It's supposed to be just naked, bare land, nothing on there. They put a house on there.
How'd that go?
To say that the council was pretty pissed off, the mother-in-law and the land council had been going at it for quite a long time, but I think they've given up now arguing with her, and she's given up arguing with them because it's just got quite back and forth, quite nasty.
Did they keep the house, Em? Have they kept the house?
It's still on there. I think they're actually selling it.
Okay.
So it becomes somebody else's problem. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
I do love how they've gone, look, there's no one around. No one can see it. Let's just build a house on it. Oh, we don't have to tell the council, do you? Do you have to tell the council that you're building something on the land?
It's perfect, though, isn't it? Because you'd probably get that block of land for a lot cheaper. Waterfront, because it's not for housing.
Yeah,
and then you've got a waterfront house.
and a thunderbox in the backyard.
This is the Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie podcast.
We're talking unfortunate names. Paul in Glenhaven, you seen a fitting name before, Paul?
Yeah, that's right. I was on the holiday with the wife up the north coast of New South Wales in a town called Macleay. We're driving through the main street, saw a funeral parlour, and it was Doug Moore Funeral.
No.
Doug Moore.
Doug.
There's the wife, there's no need to brag.
I mean, who's counting? You know what I mean? Who's keeping count?
Paul.
Oh, Paul, that is so good.
Paul,
Thank
you know what? It's worth driving up there with a couple of friends in the car just to crack the joke again, Paul.
Maclay's a long way.
Oh, no, it's worth it, Kate. It's worth it. Sarah's in Maroubra. Give us the name, Sarah.
Hi guys. Talking about cracking jokes, this one went on for a while. My brother, many years ago, 45 or so years ago, had his circumcision, and the doctor performing its name was Willie Wise.
Willie Wise. Why would you go anywhere else?
Willie.
He's the wisest in the business. It's the smartest snip you'll ever get. Oh, Sarah, that's extraordinary.
He wouldn't want to make a mistake, would he? Because he drops the wise.
Don't make a bad decision and go elsewhere. Willie Wise has got you sorted.
Ashley in Zetland, what was the names, Ashley?
Hey, I've got a couple. I've been a police officer a long time. I've worked with a constable and a constable sergeant. And at a local hospital, there was a doctor that used to have to, unfortunately, sign a lot of paperwork for people that had died. His or her name was Dr. Death.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
So getting back to the police force, so someone was called, their last name was Constable.
Yes, and their last name, and the other bloke was Sergeant.
Constable Sergeant.
Yeah, senior constable.
Constable.
Senior constable.
That is so funny. Imagine if you got pulled over by Constable.
But it would be so annoying for that person because every time he says what he's constable calling you, but constable who?
Yeah, you've got
stop saying.
I think you've got to stutter, mate.
The crooks used to think he was being a smart ass all the time because he could say constable.
Oh, my God. It's one of those words you've got to be careful with as well.
Absolutely.
Mel in Northmead, what was the name and job, Mel?
So my son's dentist is Dr. Fang.
Awesome.
They changed that. That can't be true, Mel. Like,
Yes, it is. It's Brianna, Dr. Brianna Fang. And on a side note, I only work part-time and I do dog minding at home, and my surname's Brown. There's a lot of picking up I've got to do.
Yeah, there is. Yep. From the minute you were born, your path was set, Mel. Thanks for your call.
Dr. Fang.
Payal.
Let's go to Payal now from Spring Farm. Why was the name so fitting?
So it's on myself. The joke's pretty much on myself. My name's Payal, spelled as Payal. I work in a bank, used to be a teller, and how many times have people called me PayPal? Like, mate, your parents named you wrong. I'm like, dude, it's not PayPal. And I got frustrated to a point. I told my manager, either it's me or the name tag, so one of us is going to survive. So I refused to put my name tag on. And that's how it's in my name.
It's me or the name tag.
Do you know what? I would actually feel so safe leaving you with some money, PayPal.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.